Can the Patriot Way survive without Tom Brady?
Well, I am willing to die on this hill.
You gonna die, so is it gonna be a hill, flat land, where Simba was? I don't care where you die.
I am willing to die on this hill, Vic.
You're dying.
Yes, well, no, the Patriot Way can't survive without Tom Brady.
It can't?
It cannot. Tom Brady is the Patriot Way.
Trust your first instinct. You already went there to come back.
The Patriot Way, it left when Tom Brady left.
Oh,
I'm going to start. I got too much ammo here, but let me start with this.
I see.
In life and in sports, we have to give narratives a title. Okay? Right? Let's talk about football. Let's talk about a defense. If a defense gives up a lot of rushing yards, that defense is soft. Oh. Ain't nothing soft about 6'4", 300-pound grown man that can bench 450 pounds, squat 650 pounds.
Yes.
Ain't nothing soft about that.
Yes.
But if a defense is giving up a lot of rushing yards, now the narrative is created that they are soft. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, a narrative has been created that he can't win, or he can't win big games. He can't win. Now, his second playoff game against the Tennessee Titans, his defense gave up 195 rushing yards. They were never going to win that game, the Ravens, giving up 195 rushing yards to Derrick Henry. But because they lost, you have to create a title to fulfill a narrative. A title always has to be given to fulfill narratives. So the narrative for the Patriot Way was very simple. What? Winning. You don't get a title for nothing. Okay. So there had to be some reason that the Patriots had a dynasty, then took a break, then had another dynasty. So they called that the Patriot Way. But the Patriot Way only got a title because of the narrative of winning. Here's the kicker. The Patriots won when Tom Brady shows up, and then when Tom Brady leaves, they stop winning. Did they? You gave me a confused look. You at home might be raising an eyebrow, so let me break it down.
Break it down.
2000, Tom Brady not present as a starter. The Patriots are 5-11, don't make the playoffs. 2001, Tom Brady is present as a starter. The Patriots win a Super Bowl. 2007, the Patriots go 18-0. They lose the Super Bowl to the Giants. Y'all know this. I don't have to tell y'all that story. Yeah. But the next year, the Patriots go 11-5 and miss the playoffs because Tom Brady got hurt. 2019, the Patriots go 12-4, 11th straight playoff appearance. 2020, Tom Brady departs. The Patriots miss the playoffs. When Tom Brady shows up, the Patriots win exponentially. When Tom Brady departs, the Patriots do not win, at least not with the same degree of winning that they do when Tom Brady is there. The Patriot Way only exists because of the Patriots winning. If the Patriots do not win without Tom Brady, there's no such thing as a Patriot Way. Tom Brady was the way. Tom Brady is no longer there. Patriot Way can't survive without Brady because the Patriot Way doesn't exist without Brady.
Oh, my God. You done? You finished? Okay, good. All right. First, let me clearly state for the record, yes, the Patriot Way will survive without Tom Brady. Not only will it survive, it will thrive without Tom Brady. That was clear. That was succinct. Let's get into the details. Let's deduce this intelligently because you want to talk about how narrative is applied to something after you see it. Duh. And that's the same thing that happened with the Patriots Way because I was there before the Patriot Way even existed, playing against this team twice a year, and there was no conversation of the Patriot Way. Despite them having success, I don't call this Patriot Way success, but this was a Super Bowl team like 5 years before Tom Brady showed up, right? They were in the Super Bowl, lost that Super Bowl, then they lose in the divisional round, then they lose in the wild card round. 3 playoff appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance, then 2 years without the playoffs. All of a sudden, bow, Tom Brady shows up and wins the Super Bowl. Not a damn conversation about the Patriot Way. Matter of fact, everybody Google right now, Patriot Way 2001, and see what comes up. Blank screen, spinning wheel, nothing. So Patriot Way started to evolve. I don't even think it was after the first dynasty we start saying Patriot Way. And to me, I don't like to say 2 dynasties. I call them 1 dynasty because it happened within 20 years. And that's where I want to take you to, Acho. I don't want to argue with you. I love you too much. You know, we text each other here and there. We never see each other offset. Pandemic, I hope is the reason, but we're going to find out in a few months if that's really the reason. But this is a loaded question. It's insane that this question is a damn setup. Here, let me give it to you a different way, Acho. Need your eyes right now, homeboy. I'm looking cute. Acho, I ask you this. Will Coming to America Part 2 be better than Coming to America Part 1? Oh yeah. But Arsenio or Eddie, I don't know. One or the other is not in Part 2. Will it be better than Part 1?
No, it can't be.
Well, damn it. That's a setup-ass question, right? And this was a setup question, too. Without the two things that made this marriage so perfect, you're going to take one away, and you took more than just one away. I'm going to leave that alone. All the COVIDs, all the retirements, et cetera, and players that just left, retired, et cetera. You're asking me, is Coming to America 2, without one of the major stars, it's going to be better than part 1? We know that answer, but now let's go into why I want to entertain this question, this conversation. What is the Patriot Way again? Is it 6 Super Bowls in 20 years? Oh, as defined by their success, it is. Is the Patriot Way meaning 14 years you don't win a Super Bowl? Oh, yes, it is. So is that also saying the Patriot Way basically is you're going to allow this question to be answered in 20 years? Because it took 20 years to even call this damn thing the Patriot Way in its fullness, but you don't have that patience. You have the 1-year patience of letting Tom Brady get off to a faster start without Belichick than Belichick did without Tom Brady. We are basically running 2 different races and having 2 different conversations. I am still talking about the marathon that existed to create the first Patriot Way, but you're now talking about the sprint that Tom Brady just ran in 1 year that is now redefining what you think the Patriot Way is. Make it make sense for me, Acho.
I love your take. And I love, that was hot.
It's your boy. It's your boy. Wait,
I love your take, and I love the movie aspect of it. So let me see your movie of Coming to America. Let me raise
one or two,
both, the concept. Okay. And let me raise this. I was recently watching the whole streak of trying to watch all the Avengers movies, right? And so I was watching Iron Man, and I was watching Iron Man 1, then Iron Man 2, I believe Iron Man 3. I think there are only 3 of them. But I was binge watching them, selling. Between one of the Iron Mans, a character gets replaced. Now, at first I'm watching Iron Man and I see Rhodey, I think is his name, I don't remember, but he's played by a light-skinned black dude, Terrence Howard. But then all of a sudden,
what you talking about, man?
You watch the next Iron Man and the character got the same title in the movie. He's still one of Iron Man's friends. I don't remember all the details of it because your boy got a lot going on in his head. But now it's no longer a light-skinned Terrence Howard. It's now played by a dark-skinned black dude, Don Cheadle. Same titles, but now you realize the importance of the character actually wasn't that important because I can change Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle and the movie's still going to be a box office hit.
Oh, we going there.
Tom Brady changed the character of head coach from Bill Belichick to Bruce Arians, and it was still a box office hit. So a movie cell can actually do without a major actor if the actor isn't as major as you were led to believe. Now, I'm going to give you all a quick history lesson because I had to figure out why did they change actors in the middle of the movie? Why would you change Iron Man's homeboy in the middle of the movie? And I saw this. Terrence Howard had agreed to collect $8 million to play his same character in Iron Man 2. But after the first Iron Man, which the lead character, forget his name, Downing, which Robert Downing Jr., he did it on a cheat because, remember, he was coming off his scandals. After Iron Man 1 was a hit, they said, wait a second. You're not as important, Terrence Howard Jr., as you think you are. So we're not paying you the same amount of money. We'll just replace you with somebody else. Tom Brady said, wait a second. Bill Belichick, you're not as important to my success as you think you are. So I'm just going to replace you with somebody else. And guess what? Box office hit. Super Bowl. So, yes, I am, in fact, asking you, can you still deduce Tom Brady's greatness or the Patriot Way without a major character? Because all I am submitting to you all is this. Is Bill Belichick Robert Downey Jr. or is Bill Belichick Terrence Howard? I know this much. Robert Downey Jr. was in all the Iron Mans, and they were still hits. Tom Brady, he been in all the movies, and they still hits. Bill Belichick hasn't, Coach.
Throw in the towel! No, I didn't know he was... Dog, you ever think you want to fight, and then you just raised from the dead? Undertaker, that was the best counterpunch I've ever taken in all these years of doing this.
You gonna fight back now?
You know me. I don't fight in real life, but I fight at this desk. I ain't gonna quit right now. Okay. One, stop watching Iron Man. Stop watching Avengers. You, Marvel, stop. I know you. Everything you think of and want to do, it actually happens. So stop. Bachelor was enough. Okay, stay your ass here. Okay, 2, that's a good point. That second on live, on the same. Fresh Prince, hey, that ain't on. Okay, I get you there. Here's the problem with what you're saying right now is box office is not the only measurement. You're giving me receipts, which is the ticket sales. Okay. That doesn't mean it's the same movie. That doesn't mean it's as good. Patriot Way is not just about winning Super Bowls. We got to admit that. Because if it was, y'all won 6 out of 20. Like, that's not a great win percentage, except it's measured by everyone else's, right? So in a relative experience, let's talk about everyone else. Number 2, and I don't even want to say number 2 because they have the same amount of championships, Super Bowl championships at least, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so there's Patriot Way, New England Patriots, 6 Super Bowls in 20 years. And then there's the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6 Super Bowls, but not in 20 years. You got to go back to when I was born in the 70s when they won 4 out of 6. And then they waited 26 years later. But who is sitting there laughing at the Pittsburgh Steelers as a franchise? Who's looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers like they're less than the New England Patriots? Are you? I am not in totality. So I look at it like this. Are we measuring the Patriot Way by its own measurement of 20 years of 6 Super Bowls greatness? If so, Acho, I don't know how long we're going to work here, but we got about 19 more years before we can answer that. Or we're going to base it on what others have done. Wow. You mean that 26 years can go between Super Bowl championships and Super Bowl championship and still think of that as a top franchise? So all I'm asking you more so is, can the Patriots still go out there and win games? Absolutely. They were 1 game under 500 last year with a JV team. Then, if they can win, to what level, to what receipts does the winning necessitate? Because if it's 14 times don't win a Super Bowl and 6 times figure it out, I'm going to start putting my money on Bill Belichick, only for one reason. I know Tom Brady got him 1-0. Belichick could outlast and will outlast Tom Brady if he so desires.
Fair.
So he can run the race that Tom Brady can't. Tom Brady is sprinting, and so far, so great. But when he finally says that's enough, Belichick can look at those receipts and say, let's keep production open while I try to catch and surpass just that.
Okay, I'm with you there, but rock with me here, and I think you'll like this because what I've learned about you is you go against the grain. Yeah. You don't care what everybody else is saying. You're going to think for yourself. You're going to speak for yourself. You're going to go against the grain. So let me allow you all to open your aperture of understanding and rock with me here.
Okay.
So I was thinking about Harvard, and I was thinking about Facebook and the creation there. And I was thinking about this, that Mark Zuckerberg, he gets all the fame, top 5 richest men in the world, because he created Facebook. But there were 2 brothers, the Winklevoss brothers, if I'm not mistaken, who actually submit that, they had this idea first, but Zuckerberg got there first.
Okay.
What I submit is this, that Bill Belichick got to Tom Brady. His biggest accomplishment is in drafting Tom Brady and realizing, and at least to a degree, developing the potential of Tom Brady. But what I won't be so lazy as to do is to give all the credit, or even 51% of the credit, to Bill Belichick over Tom Brady. And here's why. Big dog, if Brady went to Bruce Arians and won a Super Bowl in 1 year, who is to say that with another head coach, Tom Brady wouldn't have more Super Bowls in 19 years? He has 6 in 19. And to us, that's the most astonishing thing because we've never seen it accomplished. We've never seen a quarterback play till he's 44. We've never seen a quarterback win 7 rings. Not at this level.
Right.
So all I'm saying is very simply, I'm not going to take the lazy narrative of, man, Bill Belichick, it's all him, or even 51% him. No, like Zuckerberg got to Facebook first and became a billionaire, and we all esteem Zuckerberg as one of the greatest minds in our generation. Bill Belichick got to Brady first. But what if somebody else would have got to Brady? Because Bruce Arians showed us he got to a Brady who's worse than all the other Bradys by physical attributes. We know that a 44-year-old quarterback has deteriorated physically from a 25, 26, 27-year-old quarterback. So Bruce Arians got a physically worse, albeit more intelligent, but physically worse quarterback and went 1 for 1. So I can't deduce that another coach having Tom Brady wouldn't be able to win 6 out of 19. Is it a far-fetched idea?
No,
sure.
No.
But is Tom Brady a far-fetched athlete? Absolutely.
I'm walking stride to stride with you right there. Like, I don't want to be limited into the fact that only the things that we've seen are the only things that can be done.
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
I'm with you there. Yep. I'm with you there. However, come with me here.
Okay.
What the hell is the standard of the Patriot Way? That's the toughest thing to define. So if we can't even properly define it, what is the standard? I told you it can't be against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is 1A to 1B to the New England Patriots. Can the standard be that there are 12 teams that have never even won a Super Bowl? Can the standard be where there are 4 teams that never even appeared in the Super Bowl? What is the standard? That they're in the playoffs more times than they're not? Until we can just define purely what that standard is, then to me, the Patriot Way is you're putting yourself in position to always win. And not even more times than not, you win it all. You just find a way to win more than others.
Then let's go here.
What's the definition?
If the definition, as you define it, is you're putting yourself in position to win. That's fair, at minimum. I think that's the lowest bar of the Patriot Way.
Yeah.
Right? I think the highest bar is you're winning one Super Bowl every 10 years, 6 years, whatever, based upon their 6-20.
Because the Colts did this with Peyton Manning in position every year.
Correct. And so I think the bar is higher.
Okay.
But if we're going to keep the bar, putting yourself in position to win. Without Tom Brady in 2000, before he was a starter, they didn't make the playoffs. Right. Not a position to win. Without
the year before.
Sure.
Okay.
But without Tom Brady, they didn't make the playoffs.
Okay.
2008, without Tom Brady, they didn't make the playoffs because Tom Brady tore his ACL.
They won 11 games.
Sure, but you're not in a position to win if you don't make the playoffs. You know that.
We're going to do this?
We have to.
We're going to do this?
We have to.
Okay, play
You're
with the
making
words.
me do this.
11 games,
2008, they didn't make the playoffs.
All right, Cleveland didn't make the playoffs this year either then.
2020, they didn't make the playoffs. The only way you win is by making the playoff. You can't win the lotto unless you buy a ticket. You can't win a Super Bowl unless you make the playoffs. So at a bare minimum, if the Patriot Way is putting yourselves in positions to win, the Patriot Way does not exist without Tom Brady. Because without Tom Brady in the last 20 years, they've never been in a position to win. With Tom Brady in the last 20 years, they've always been in a position to win.
Here's the problem with that. One, we've only got 1 year without Tom Brady to understand this.
Gave you 3.
Without Tom Brady, he was there for 1 year of that, but he got hurt in the first game. And 11 games, call it what you want. Look, that's on the judges right there. But to me, that one counts as a winning, putting yourself in position with a backup quarterback. But here's the thing. You're asking basically for the Patriots in totality to set a world record again. You're asking this team, this franchise, I should say, okay, you did this in 20 years, 6 championships. That guy is gone. He's off the relay, whatever it may be. Now, set another world record without that guy. Okay, he went out there and he did his part with a different team. And let's talk about how he did it. He cherry-picked. Tom Brady sat there as a free agent. He went to Venice Beach and sat there for 2 hours and watched all the teams get run. And he was like, ooh, that's the best team. They ain't got off the court yet. And then one of them dudes got a text. I got to go, dog. I'm playing with y'all. And then he just kept running. Because that team right there was a 7-9 team quarterback away. They had defense. They had 2 1,000-yard receivers. They had a winning coaching staff. All they needed was Tom Brady. And I'm not trying to minimize what Tom Brady did. I'm just saying, you asking Usain Bolt to go out there and give you that 9.58 again? You asking Flojo to give you that 10.49 one more time? It's kind of messed up, big dog. I don't know what the standard is. All I know is that was a fun conversation.